Good morning and welcome to our celebration today, the 2025 Northwestern Sports Hall of Fame Luncheon. I'm going to introduce myself and then I was hoping for the applause, but we'll do the applause first. I'm Matt Adair and I have the privilege of serving as the Assistant Dean of Student Affairs here at Northwestern. It is a great honor and a personal privilege to be able to be here to play MC for our Sports Hall of Fame banquet these last few years. I enjoy this as much as anything on campus. It's a tremendous celebration, and I think just an exclamation point of a pride that we should all feel as Rangers, especially in this room today. Today is a celebration on campus when we commemorate the traditions and reflect on our athletic heritage. While we honor the athletes being inducted into our Sports Hall of Fame, today is as much for the fans as it is for anyone. Northwestern is thrilled to honor 4 incredible Rangers today, and with so much success to look back on, without further delay that we kick off our journey in today's program. The Northwestern Sports Hall of Fame is a collaborative effort between several different entities, including Northwestern, the Alumni Association, and the Northwestern Foundation. Each of these contribute significantly to the success of this event. So at this time, I'd like to collectively recognize the staff and board members from our Alumni Association and Foundation by asking them to stand and for us to honor them with a round of applause. If you're a board member for the Alumni Foundation or the Northwestern Foundation, please stand. It is also an incredible honor of mine to work each day with some gifted and talented leaders who comprise the senior administration here at Northwestern. And at this time, I'd like to take a moment to recognize them. And if you would, please let me announce and introduce each of them here today before we begin our applause. First, our university president, who will be addressing us later, Dr. Bo Hanford. Dr. David Bakey, the Executive Vice President for Northwestern and Vice President for Administration. Dr. James Bell, the Vice President for Academics. Mr. Caleb Mossberg, the Dean of Student Affairs and Enrollment Management. Dr. Steve Meyer, Dean of Faculty. Mr. Brad Franz, our Director of Athletics. Ms. Kelsey Martin, the Director of University Relations. Ms. Jody Randles, the Administrative Assistant to the President. And of course, Skeeter Bird from the Northwestern Foundation and Alumni Association. Thank you to each one of you for your hard work, your dedication to excellence, and your passion for the Rangers. The leadership of our athletic program is outstanding. Mr. Brad Franz, through his tireless and dedicated commitment to Ranger excellence, has assembled an outstanding group of coaches, strengthened our ties with supporters and fans, and serves as an advocate for our student athletes. At this time, I'd like to invite Coach Franz to come forward to introduce the coaches and athletic staff here today, along with our Sports Hall of Fame Committee. Ladies and gentlemen, Athletic Director Brad Franz.
On behalf of the Athletic Department and Hall of Fame Committee, I would like to welcome you here today to celebrate the induction of the 2025 class. As Director of Athletics, I am proud to represent the university, student athletes, and coaches. Today is a great day as we induct 4 individuals. From the tremendous feats on the football field and working coaching, Fred Slaughter, the tenacious defender and All-American on the soccer pitch, Selina Lamar-White, the rodeo cowboy who set the standard early for our rodeo program as a collegiate and pro rodeo participant, Shannon, and to the leadership as a quarterback and basketball player, which took the next level in leadership, including Northwestern President Dr. Tom McDaniel. We have some outstanding talents here today. For all of their athletic feats, there is so much more to each of them as Rangers. Ultimately, these individuals as Ranger greats deserve the highest honor bestowed upon them. At this time, I would like to introduce the Hall of Fame Committee. Mr. Milburn Barton, please stand, hold your applause. Mr. Joe Phillips, Mr. John Allen, Mr. Tim Lauderdale, and Mr. Andrew Santangelo. Thank you, including myself. We've already been introduced, but from all of us in Northwestern Athletics, I would like to thank our senior leadership team. Without you, we would not be able to get it done. Thank you once again. We currently have a great group of coaches who buy into the Northwestern way. These coaches work tirelessly with their student athletes. Not all are here today due to contests they may be in. I would like all of the coaches in attendance to stand and be recognized. Let's give them a big round of applause. There is one person who makes it all go, and that is our president, Dr. Bo Hannaford. All of you know Dr. Hannaford has a deep passion for Ranger athletics, having coached and played football here. We appreciate his unending support for everyone at this university, students and student athletes alike. Let's give him a big round of applause. I personally want to thank each of you for the support you give to our program. Lastly, I would like to congratulate our past Hall of Fame candidates, who you'll hear about in a minute. Honor our current inductees, Selina, Shannon, Fred, and Dr. McDaniel. All of you represent Northwestern athletics and what it's all about. You have helped pave the way for success for future Rangers. Thank you.
Thank you, Coach. At this time, I'd like to ask John Allen to come forward, the Director of our Alumni Relations for the Northwestern Foundation and Alumni Association. John will be offering our invocation and blessing for the meal today. John.
Please bow your heads. Our heavenly, glorious Father, you have just brought so many blessings to us today at this time. And our prayer is that we continue to enjoy this day of celebration with our Ranger family. As we prepare to enjoy this meal, we ask that we be ever mindful of your glorious presence in our lives. And we ask that the joy that we have now continue throughout the day and beyond. In the name of your Son, the beautiful name of Jesus Christ, amen.
Thank you again, John. Today we have prepared for you our traditional chicken fried steak buffet lunch made by our great folks at Chartwell's for our food service provider here on campus. You need to enjoy your lunch, and please do not let me interrupt that. I love to see you guys having conversations with each other and enjoying your time back here on campus. But we do have some basketball games that we want to get to a little bit later, so we need to get things started again. I've got a reminder to all of you who are currently members of the Hall of Fame. Of course, we're going to do a ceremony for our inductees at halftime of the men's game tonight. But all of you current members of the Hall of Fame back here today, we also do a ceremony recognizing you and honoring you being back here on campus as members of the Hall of Fame and part of our Hall of Fame weekend. We would love to invite and encourage all of you to make it over from here immediately following our dismissal to the gym at halftime of the girls' game. You guys will be introduced as well. So, current members of the Hall of Fame, we'd love to see you at halftime of the women's game immediately following our luncheon. Each year, our Sports Hall of Fame is generously supported by 3 of our local banks. Two of our local banks. Each of these financial institutions go above and beyond in their support for Northwestern, our students, and our athletic teams. We cannot thank them enough. And this year, our sponsors include the Alva State Bank, represented today by Laura Brashears and her husband, Jeremy. Also sponsoring today's event, the great people at Community Bank. So please help us thank each of them for their support of Northwestern and the Sports Hall of Fame. I'm pleased to get to introduce our next speaker, Dr. Bo Hannaford, the current president of Northwestern Oklahoma State University. Dr. Hannaford's connection to this institution runs deep. As a former student, athlete, coach, professor, a dean, and a vice president, he has played a pivotal role in shaping the university into what it is today. His commitment to the success of Northwestern and its students spans decades, and his leadership has left an indelible mark on our university and our community. Today, as we gather to celebrate the accomplishments of our newest inductees into the Hall of Fame, we are fortunate to hear from someone who has lived the Northwestern spirit in so many ways. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Bo Camper.
I want to say welcome, and it is a great day to be a Ranger. What a crowd here today. Thank you all for being here to celebrate the very best of our Ranger athletics. For our inductees, I want to say congratulations. We look forward to honoring you today. For our past inductees who have returned, I want to say welcome home, and I want to thank you for being here to support this year's class. I do have a few people at my table I would like to introduce. Would you first help me welcome our Russo Board President, Regent Jane Dermott, and her daughter, Allison. And we're also very excited to welcome back a very familiar face to this event, President Emeritus, Dr. Janet Cunningham, and her husband, Rick. So today we're going to be able to read and listen to and also get to share wonderful stories about the people being inducted into our Athletic Hall of Fame. I'm going to be very brief, but I do want to say this. One thing I believe is clearly evident and always will be, when you look at Northwestern athletic programs and our graduates who are student athletes, and today is no exception, we build and produce leaders. Leaders in the workforce, leaders in our community, our schools, leaders in the state, and leaders in our nation. Professions across the board, there are success stories at every turn. That is something to be very proud of with our Ranger family, and that is something that we will always continue to celebrate. So thank you for being here today, and never forget, Ride Rangers Ride. Thank you.
Thank you, President Hannaford. At this time, we'll have our athletic directors, Coach Brad Franz, come back to the podium to present this year's Hall of Fame scholarship to a very deserving Ranger. Brad.
The Northwestern Sports Hall of Fame Scholarship was established in 1999 by Dr. Randy Smith and his wife, Mitzi. Dr. Smith received his bachelor's degree from Northwestern in 1975 and was a member of the Ranger baseball team. He later became Northwestern's baseball coach and athletic director and is a current Hall of Famer. Northwestern inducted its first class in 1993. This scholarship honors a Northwestern student athlete who exhibits the highest level of character, integrity, athletic, and academic performance. It continues the spirit of those people who built the tradition around the excellence of Ranger athletics. This year we honor its recipient for 2025 in Piper Gallagher. Piper is a junior on the Northwestern women's track and field team from Tonga, Oklahoma. Piper is a premier scholar holding a 4.0 GPA, making numerous honor rolls throughout her career, and is a very hard worker. Becomes highly recommended by her coach, Jill Lancaster. She's a mass communications major who wants to major and wants to work in pro sports and media and photography when finished at Northwestern. Piper is accompanied today by her parents, Tiffany and Brandon Gallagher. Piper, would you please come forward to accept your award? Let's give her a round of applause.
Have Piper come and give her speech, that would be. We're going to continue on with one more segment. The Northwestern Sports Hall of Fame was created in 1992 and inducted its inaugural class in 1993. Prior to today, Only 116 Ranger greats and one athletic team have been awarded the highest athletic honor given by Northwestern. Today, we're fortunate to have a number of our Hall of Fame members back on campus. I'd like to recognize them and ask them to stand or wave. Ladies and gentlemen, if we could hold our applause until we get all of them recognized, just because it takes a little bit. We've got a tremendous list here today. So, Hall of Famers, as I call your name. From the class of 2024, a baseball and basketball great, Hall of Famer Shane Hansen, here today. From the class of 2024, a baseball player and coach, Cody Hooper. From the class of 2024, soccer coach, Steve Barrows. From the inductee class of 2021, football great Brandon Christensen is here today. From the class of 2020, football coach and player Steve Gale. From the class of 2018, football player and Ranger football coach Dr. Chandler Mead. From the 2016 class, another coach and phenomenal Ranger Dr. Steve Lowe is here today. From the class of 2016, baseball coach, player, Coach Joe Phillips. From the 2012 inductee class, football player, Ranger legend, Al Hunt is with us today. From the 2012 inductee class, another football great, Lynn Scott. From the 2011 class, a football player. By the way, I say this all the time, it's the easiest record to remember as a broadcaster. That's very important to me, records. The single longest reception touchdown in Ranger football history held by none other than Jason Bryant. 99 yards, it'll never be broken. For the class of 2006, incredible leader and an incredible Ranger, Dr. Yvonne Carmichael. From 2005, baseball coach, player, helped to found our Hall of Fame, Dr. Randy Smith. From 2004, women's basketball coach, Milburn Barton. From the class of 2003, a women's basketball player, member of our 1,000-point club, Kayla Haskell. From the class of 2001, a men's basketball player, also a 1,000-point club member, Jim Schrader is here today. From the 1999 National Championship football team, Clint Benway. Also from the 99 National Championship football team, Willie Spears. And then also on that team, Brandon Christensen, Al Hunt, Lynn Scott, those guys all part of that incredible run for the national title. From the 1995 induction class, women's basketball player Paula Stout-Crandall is here with us today. Paula's in the back. And from the 1994 class, a three-sport athlete, football, basketball, and track, Stuart Arthurs is with us today. Okay, best question of the day. Did I miss any of our current members of the Hall of Fame? Ronnie Jones is here today. Of all of them, that seems to be the one that I might get. Also a three-sport athlete, current Ranger head football coach, tremendous guy, Ronnie Jones. Anybody else? Thank you to the Foundation and Alumni Office for helping me to identify all of the Ranger greats here today. I couldn't do it without you guys. Let's give all a big round. I said it earlier, but membership in the Sports Hall of Fame is the single highest award that we can offer a Ranger athlete. Each member of the induction class from this year will receive a handsome horse and rider plaque. These commemorative plaques are created by Dr. David Boland and his wife Emily, who are both here with us today. If we could, Dr. Boland, Emily, if we get a hand raise or a wave so we can give you a round of applause. And our representative of the tradition and honor associated with being in the Hall of Fame. Along with the plaques, each member of the Hall of Fame class will receive a custom watch sporting the Ranger logo on the dial. As of today, there are 120 of these watches in existence in the world, and they represent the pride and love of the Ranger Nation. Rangers, we will now present the 2024 class for the Northwestern Sports Hall of Fame. We'll introduce each one of our inductees and let them individually come up and hopefully speak for just a moment. Upon all four being inducted, that came out wrong. Speak for as long as you would like. But please, upon all of you being inducted, I will ask that each of you return to the front so that we can take some pictures with you guys together, with you and your plaques, and we will then reconvene and do our formal induction into the Hall of Fame at halftime of the Ranger men's basketball game. With that being said, on with the ceremony. Our first inductee in the 2025 Sports Hall of Fame class. From 1985 to 1989, Shannon competed as a member of the Northwestern Rodeo team, earning recognition as a three-time National Intercollegiate Rodeo finalist. He came to Northwestern being the Oklahoma State High School Cutting Champion and a National High School Rodeo Association finalist. After graduating with a Bachelor of Science in Ag Business in 1990, Shannon went on to achieve significant success, reaching the College National Finals Rodeo 3 times during his career at Northwestern, and then in professional rodeo before returning to Northwestern in 2011 to coach our rodeo team. As a member of the PRCA, he qualified for the Wrangler National Finals in 2016, winning 2 go-round events. A consistent competitor, Shannon has qualified for the PRCA Prairie Circuit Finals over 20 times between 1990 and 2024. He secured the Prairie Circuit year-end champion team roping title 8 different times and won the Prairie Circuit Finals average team roping championship multiple times. He's also qualified for the PRCA Dodge National Circuit Finals on multiple occasions. In addition to his PRCA achievement, Shannon has been a multiple-time Central Plains Rodeo Association year-end team roping champion, as well as a Texas Cowboy Rodeo Association year-end team roping champion. His success extended even into Kansas with the Kansas Professional Rodeo Association, where he claimed the year-end team roping championship title multiple times as well. As a finalist in the prestigious events such as the American Quarter Horse World Show, United States Team Roping Association Finals, and World Series of Team Roping, Shannon has demonstrated consistent excellence. He's been honored with his horses being named Team Roping Horse of the Year multiple times across several professional associations. A respected figure in the sport, Shannon has served as a judge for the American Road Course Futurity World Finals multiple times. Shannon resides in Alva, Oklahoma with his wife, Tammy, where he is continuing to contribute to the greatness of rodeo through his equine business. On behalf of Northwestern Oklahoma State University, the Northwestern Foundation, and the Ranger Sports Hall of Fame, it is my great honor to welcome to the podium Northwestern Sports Hall of Famer, Shannon Frascht.
I want to thank the Hall of Fame and everybody involved in making this happen. It's pretty special to me. I came to here in Northwestern in 1985. A guy by the name of Lamar-White that started the rodeo team back. I don't think it had been going on since the 60s. And there was only about 15 or 20 people on there. And he called them a voicemail on our answering machine at home. This is pre-cell phone for some of you know. So the whole family heard it. And I really wasn't sure what I wanted to do. And they thought I should go and at least talk to him. And so I was probably really more interested in one member. Sorry, my wife. Probably the reason I'm here. anyway, we competed and they had a good time, met a lot of people. Fast forward to 2011, I thought it was time to pay it forward. Northwestern was kind of in a position, we needed a coach at mid-year, and I was here, lived here, knew the people, knew the fairgrounds, knew the whole thing, and so I was pretty much a shoe-in, I thought, probably to step in there. And when I came, I realized that, there was a lot of things that hadn't really changed that much. And Dr. Cunningham and Brad and David, I kind of went to, they were all here when I was in college. And so they agreed with me. And we were all in agreement. And probably my biggest accomplishment, I feel like, was when we got a facility that we could call our own. Skeeter Burke was big in that. Don Campbell stepped up, and now we have a facility kind of keeping Northwestern close to me. That's where my place is. So I'm right across the fence from the rodeo team. The rodeo team probably, as far as here, I looked, I think Stockton is the only other inductee to get to come up here, so I kind of want to brag on Northwestern and why I think it's special. They have not only accomplished a lot, obviously sending people through the college rodeo and what have you, but people that go on to accomplish big things. There's 6 that I know of that went on to be world champions, POCA world champions, and that's pretty special. One is a 3-time world champion. We have actually 2 late events, and we had 2 world champions last year with Cole Patterson and J.D. Struggles. I think that's a pretty great deal. We also, as a town in Northwestern, we were home of 2 Miss Rodeo Americas at the same time. That's kind of unheard of too, whether you go to a big rodeo town like Stephenville or to Low Alva. I'm kind of, I think probably, the most important part when I started looking back and going back through, and when I was, saw that we're going to have to come up here and do some speaking, I thought, well, I ought to go back and look through some things. And probably one of the biggest accomplishments that I think is special for Northwestern is the fact that when I stepped in and coached, there was a little shy of 100 kids. And as I look back, there's over 20 of them that still live here and working out. And they're in all different phases of it. They're, from the banks that we talked about that help sponsor this, to real estate, to the nursing, to dental, let alone the farm and ranch. That's kind of what's been known for rodeo kids to be a part of. But that's to me kind of what's special is not only is Northwestern became just a school for them to go, but it's been out. So, and that's what it's been to me. I appreciate it. Thank you. One more thing, we've got a new coach, Callie Griffin. She called me last night. Her grandmother passed away last night, and she's not here. You couldn't hire a better coach. She was my assistant when I left. Nobody's more passionate or dedicated. She knows the academics, she knows the competing, she knows the system, how to work around through the NRA. She's a perfect candidate and a worker. I mean, she's out there all day, every day. So I think it's a very good choice, and I look for a lot of good things to happen still for Northwestern. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Hall of Famer, Shannon Frascht. Tam, thank you for bringing him here. Our second inductee tonight played a pivotal role in not only playing, but establishing the women's soccer program as its first ever signee. Sal Lamar-White competed as a defender for the Rangers from 2001 to 2004. Following her successful playing career, Sal contributed to the program as an assistant coach from 2005 to 2009. Sal is described as the type of player on which a program is built. Beyond her skills on the field, she served as an outstanding leader who elevated her teammates and everyone around her. As a defender for the Rangers, Sal played in all 80 games of her college career. This feat ties the program's career record for most games played as a defender. She also matched the single season record for most games played in a season, making 21 appearances. During her time as a Ranger, Sal contributed 4 goals, including 1 game winner and 3 assists. She was a key player in organizing the defense, making countless blocks, and initiating transitions into attack. Sal was named to the Sooner Athletic Conference First Team All-Conference in 2003 and 2004. She earned the SAC Defensive Player of the Year honor in 2004 and was selected to the NAIA Region 6 First Team All-Region in 2003 and 2004. Named the NAIA Region 6 Defensive MVP in 2004, she received honorable mention All-American status in both 2003 and 2004. Sal earned 2 degrees from Northwestern, graduating with a Bachelor of Science in Computer Science and a Bachelor of Science in Business Administration and E-Commerce. Sal currently lives in Shepherd, Texas, with her husband and notable Ranger, Cedric White, and their 3 children, Braden, Brooklyn, and Briley, ages 15, 14, and 12. She serves as a Computer Applications and Career Exploration teacher at Shepherd Middle School. On behalf of the Rangers Sports Hall of Fame, Northwestern Oklahoma State University, and the Northwestern Foundation, please welcome to the podium Hall of Famer, Selina Lamar.
Give a speech, so I will try my best. Okay, I want to say again, thank you everyone, the Hall of Fame committee, anyone who nominated me. It was really a great honor to be up here, especially representing the soccer program. So it's awesome. Coming to Northwestern was very influential in my life. Very shy in high school, so I did not make eye contact with people, and I got a lot of comments saying that I look mean all the time. Okay, because I looked down, I didn't look at people, I didn't look at their faces and stuff. And so now, actually coming to Northwestern and with my husband and stuff, who I met at Northwestern, people said I look mean. I didn't want to put that off. I wasn't a mean person. And so I got in the habit of coming here, maybe comfortable, to force myself to look up and smile. And so that's why I started telling even my students at school, smile. You brighten people's day when you look up and smile, and I learned that coming here. Because people would look and smile back at you in this family atmosphere. And I loved it. And so that's why one of the reasons why I came over. My husband and my mom are here. My biggest fan over there. My husband, yeah, he helped me with all this stuff, with coming out of my shell a little bit more. My kiddos, who I love watching them play sports. My son, my daughters, that's one of the things I enjoy. Also over the years, we took in some boys of our own from high school. They lived with us. That's so my daughter-in-law and my little grandbaby over there, adopted, I guess you could say. Her husband couldn't be here today. But very thankful for them to be here. Coach Barrows, he's the reason why I came here initially, first place, so thank you. David and Emily Bolin, and Miss Smith over there that cooked us our lovely potatoes. Yes, our soccer meals. I appreciate that very much. And David and Emily Bolin did us with, preseason we had meals cooked for us. We went over, they had to open the church and we eat there all the time. So it was like, it made an atmosphere, made me feel very comfortable. Okay, my first experience, I want to say, when I first came to Alva, I came up with a teammate, Jenny Cruz from high school. I drove up from the south end, and I saw a sign that said, "Hitchhikers may be escaped inmates." When I came up, a little, should I be here? But once I came onto campus, met Coach Barrows, saw the community, and I loved the family community and the smallness, and I loved it. So that's why I came here. Some of the memories that I had was with the players, with my teammates. They made it fun, they made it interesting. That's why I loved it. But we had some obstacles where the first thing, team bonding experience was picking weeds off of our field. Okay, we didn't have a field, a pitch our first year. We really practiced at the old armory. So it was a small, not even a full-size field, and then we were supposed to go play on a full-size field after we practice on this little thing. Okay? So the second year is when we finally got a pitch up there at the top, and we picked weeds for practice. It got to the point where even during drills, I'd pick a weed. Because I saw that I pick weeds all the time. But picking those weeds made you love and take care of your field. And I brought more teammates and joy through that. Our trips, going to games, teams, our teammates and all this stuff, that's what made my experience in Northwestern that I can't, it was some of the best years of my life. And I love that I got to play something that I love, a sport that I love, with people that I know, like Leslie, that I loved. And we might not have been like the best team. We went from first year on a year, not winning anything, to fourth year, literally one game away from going to nationals. Coach had already planned a trip. We were going, and of course we played Oklahoma Christian, who was the year that we just struggled with. And they beat us at PKs on our home turf right up there. And that was my last game. And it was very memorable, but still I loved it. So what I want to say is thank you. I really enjoyed my experiences here, and there's so many memories. I'd be up here talking all day. But I appreciate it. Thank you very much for the honor. Right, Rangers, right.
As somebody who gets to watch a lot of Ranger sports firsthand, as a broadcaster and a PA announcer, I can tell you that I spend a great deal of time with a very illustrious group of VIPs, including Dustin Goodnow, Jesse Klein, Steve Barrows, our broadcasting crew. Coach Barrows, a Hall of Famer himself, speaks incredibly highly of what Selina brought to the field, not only as a player, but in terms of personality, a coach and a leader. He credits her as being the spark that started the fire for Ranger soccer. Ladies and gentlemen, Hall of Famer, Selina. Our third inductee today. Leadership began early while he was a student athlete at Northwestern. Dr. Tom McDaniel was a 4-year letterman in both football and basketball. Dr. McDaniel served as an outstanding starting quarterback and also team captain for the Ranger basketball team. As a quarterback, Dr. McDaniel led the 1957 Ranger football team that included Hall of Famers J.C. Reichenberg and Larry Friend. In one memorable game, Dr. McDaniel's 50-yard touchdown pass to Larry Friend took the Rangers to an epic upset win over the defending national championships from the University of Central Oklahoma. In his academic journey, Dr. McDaniel earned 4 years of recognition on the honor roll and was voted as the best all-around by the student body in 1959. He graduated in 1960 with a degree in business and later earned his law degree at the University College of Law in 1963. In 2000, Dr. McDaniel returned to his alma mater to serve as Northwestern's president. He was Northwestern's first graduate and Ranger student athlete to serve in this role. And I can tell you that Dr. McDaniel left a mark as a leader and a Ranger. All of you have probably noticed the Ranger statue at the corner of College and Oklahoma. We have Dr. McDaniel to thank for that mark of Ranger excellence. From 2001 to 2011, he served as president and chancellor of Oklahoma City University. After graduation, Dr. McDaniel continued his involvement in sports as he served as the Alva Little League commissioner and coach for football, basketball, and baseball. Later in his career, he served as the Oklahoma Sports Hall of Fame Council and the Jim Thorpe Sports Hall of Fame Executive Council. Dr. McDaniel has been named Oklahoma's most admired CEO in large nonprofits, according to the Journal Record. He has been the recipient of several awards, including the Dean A. McGee Award from downtown Oklahoma City, the Urban Pioneer Award, and the Oklahoma Citizen of the Year Award. In 1986, Northwestern named him Outstanding Graduate in the Business and Professional category. In 2017, Dr. McDaniel was recognized by Leadership Oklahoma with its Lifetime Achievement Award. Dr. McDaniel currently serves as the president of the American Fidelity Foundation, and him and his wife Brenda reside in Oklahoma City. They enjoy life with their 3 sons and their family. On behalf of Northwestern, Oklahoma State University, the Northwestern Foundation, and the Rangers Sports Hall of Fame, again, I am honored to welcome to the podium Hall of Famer, Dr. Tom McDaniel.
Well, I have to say, it's good to be home. It's good to be back and see so many wonderful friends and familiar faces. And I want to start by thanking our president, Bo Hammer. He's got a great staff. I just want to thank Skeeter and John and Brad and Andrew and all the people who made this a very special day. I also want to recognize my friend Janet Cunningham. We worked together the time that I was here, and she followed as president. I just want to say she did a magnificent job. How about a round of applause for Janet Cunningham? First time I can remember Bo Hannaford was watching him run in the Woods County Little Olympics. And I learned something about him there. On that day to this, he always gets his best. And so I come here today to say to you, our university and its future is in great hands with Bo Hannaford, and he deserves a round of applause. Pat quickly mentioned Dr. Randy Smith. I owe him 3 things today. One is, he mentioned that he was active in the establishment. And I just want to say to you that if you read Wayne Lane's history of Northwestern Oklahoma State University, you'll see that when Randy was the athletic director, he was the driving force that created and established what we are doing today, that is here to preserve the traditions and the history of Ranger athletics from inception. I'm from a completely different era than the other honorees today, and for many reasons it would be hard to remember had not been for this Hall of Fame telling the story and preserving the history of athletics here through the story of those who have coached and played and contributed to all that has made Ranger athletics as great as it is. So Randy, a public thank you to you for your effort to establish this and create it. And then secondly, I want to say, I think it was Randy that nominated me for this award, so I like that too. And he did it in a really special way that I want to just share with you. He came to our house, told Brenda to gather the family, and he brought Mitzi and Madison with him. He came to our house and surprised me with the news that I've been selected for the Athletic Hall of Fame. And it was a wonderful night at our home in Oklahoma City that evening. Brenda fell down and fell into the garage, chasing them out the door to say thank you. 2 weeks later, I fell off a ladder. But beyond that, I'm not going to say we were excited. Well, it is a particular treat to be here. And by here, I mean right here. I came to Northwestern, and brace yourself for this, in 1956. I'm 86, going to be 87 this year. And I came in 1956 and played from 56 through 60. So lot of memories are rekindled when we drive in to the city limits. A lot of great memories rekindled when we walk on this campus. Today they said a golf cart bring us from the car to here. And I'm not saying, John, we didn't need it. We didn't. But in this very room, I was a sophomore in 1957. The room was configured a little differently in 1957, and because I was the quarterback on the football team, I was asked to come to orientation. We were welcoming a new class to Northwestern, and I was asked to come over and say a few words about the team and to encourage people to come to the opening game. So, much like today, I was standing here looking out over this crowd, and I noticed a really pretty girl sitting just to my right, a couple of rows back. And as I was finishing up my brief remarks, and brevity is not my virtue. As I was finishing up, I thought my eyes met hers, Madison. So when it was over, I walked my way through the crowd and introduced myself and talked to her briefly and asked her for a date. She was reluctant initially. I was persistent. We did have a date. I found out that she had grown up on a farm in Slap Out, Oklahoma, that she had slap outs. Selina is probably not on your map. But she grew up on a farm in Slap Out. She graduated from Laverne High School, came here because a generation or two before it created scholarships so that kids got academic scholarships. So she came here on an academic scholarship. And she told me that she wanted to be a Christian missionary to Africa. And I said, I've got a lot of work to do here. So 2 years later, we were married. This past June, well, let me think forward. This coming June the 12th, we will have been married 66 years. 66. On that first date, I thought that she was a very unique person, a very unusual and sweet, nice person. I found that to be true for all of those 66 years. And I want her to stand and you all to recognize her. She has been the first lady of 2 universities. She has been the alumni director at Northwestern, and she has been Oklahoma's Mother of the Year, Brenda McDaniel. To say that one of the things she did great was raise 3 boys. They're all here today, sitting at this table. Our sons, Mark, Randy, and Lance are here. My 2 wonderful granddaughters, Stacy and Julie, are here. And my grandson, John, is here with them. Would you guys stand and be recognized? So Brenda and I guess would suggest to you today that if we've accomplished anything in our life, this is the best thing that we've ever been able to accomplish. And we thank them for being here. They're all servant leaders in their own right. I could tell you a lot about each one that would be really great. But brevity, I got you. I also want to just say what an honor it is to be included in this particular class with Shannon and Selina and Fred. I'm from a completely different generation from them, and I didn't get to see everything that they have done. But reading about it and hearing about it is inspiring. And I think that's what this is really all about. I mean, I think this is about let's inspire others to do this, to excel, to do those, to commit themselves to excellence in a way that these three have. I want to say then just a couple more things. We all learned, all four of us learned, even though we're different, I'm older, we learned one thing from athletics here at Northwestern. You can never achieve individual excellence or success without the cooperation, the help, the support of teammates and coaches. That's the one common thing that all four of us understand from our experience here. And which makes me say that I want to mention just a couple of my coaches. When I was here, Art Parkhurst was the football coach. All 4 years I was here, and Walter Johnson Jr. was the basketball coach. They were good men, good coaches, and became friends of mine for life after I graduated. They were among the first honorees that were inducted into this Hall of Fame. If you look at your list, you'll see both of their names at the very start of this process. I was fortunate enough to have them for coaches. I had great teammates. You've heard the mention of one that wasn't mentioned is John Spike Harshberger, who was a great all-around player from southern Kansas. J.C. Rickenberg was an All-American halfback. It's been on the picture up there. And those guys are both ahead of me. Harkenberger was 3 years ahead of me, and Rickenberger 2 years ahead. In my class was a guy named Ron Hodges from Beaver, Oklahoma. He is in this Hall of Fame as well. He sang at our wedding. I was the best man at his. There are bonds that are created with teammates that far exceed the relationship that you have just in a classroom. These bonds that you build with your teammates are really something, I think, special in this life. Ron was a great shot putter and the conference champion. The fourth one was one of, I would say, our university's all-time greats. He was 2 years behind me. His name is Stuart Arthurs. His mother was on the faculty here. I'd like to say I helped recruit him because he had many options when he got to Bristow High School. He came here, and he and I played on the football and basketball teams for 2 years. His first 2 years, my last 2 years. And I candidly say he was the best player on both teams. He is here today. He is a retired lawyer in Cushing, Oklahoma. And I cannot keep from saying how much it means to me for you and your wife, Cheryl, to have made this trip today from Bristow. And I want you to know how much you mean to Northwestern, one of Northwestern's all-time greats, and my teammate, Stuart Arthur. So I'll close with this. Matt, I know you're counting. I'll close with this. The one thing that I have had the chance to do since I got word of this is to reflect on my time here. And the vivid memory that really comes to my mind is a really hot August day in 1956. I was 17 years old, going to be 18 in a few days. And I put on the practice pad for football for the first time at Northwestern. I walked out on what was then Newby Field. You Coach Parkhurst was yelling instructions, and the assistants were yelling instructions, and I looked out there, and there were 100 guys there that looked like me. Some of them bigger and stronger and faster, but 100 guys. And in many ways, we were all just alike. We were all had big dreams. We all were thankful that we were going to get the chance to play college football. We were all hopeful that we could make the team. But most of all, we were excited that in that moment, we knew we were going to get to college, get to have a college education. For me, I would be the first one in my family to get one. I knew that it would be the foundation for every professional opportunity that I would ever have. And I've been fortunate in that regard. But it was this foundational education at Northwestern Oklahoma State University that provided me every opportunity that has ever been afforded me. And I stood there in that moment, anxious, nervous, scared, and I said to myself, I am proud to be a Northwestern Ranger. I still am. I stand here 70 years later, very proud to be a Northwestern Ranger. And I thank you for this incredible honor. Right, Rangers, right.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. McDaniel is truly a staple to Oklahoma, a statesman, a scholar, a leader, and now a Northwestern Ranger Hall of Famer. Dr. Tom McDaniel. Our final inductee of the afternoon was a two-sport Ranger athlete playing football from 1990 to 1993 as a cornerback and a competitor in track and field in 91 and 92 in the 400-meter dash. 31 years later, Fred Slaughter is still at the top of the record books for Northwestern in both sports. Brett was a four-year letterman, starting in the defensive backfield as a freshman in 1990 and remaining in the Rangers' starting defensive lineup for the next 4 years. While at Northwestern, Fred earned all-conference team honors in football in 1991. He was a second-team all-defensive selection for the OIC. In 1992, he earned first-team all-defensive selection honors in the OIC. While here, Fred also earned honorable mention on the 1992 NAIA All-American team. In his Northwestern football career, Fred ranks 7th with 26 passes defended, 10 pass breakups, and 16 interceptions, which is second in most career interceptions at Northwestern. In track and field, Fred earned the 400-meter championship title in both 1991 and 1992. His 91 performance helped his team win the 1991 OIC Conference Team Championship. Fred served as a student assistant and graduate assistant football coach. He graduated with a Bachelor of Science degree in Health and Physical Education in 1997. Excuse me, I didn't choke that. In 1997, and then earned his master's degree in secondary education in 2001. Fred was a member of the 1999 National Championship coaching staff. From 2005 to 2007, he served as Northwestern's head football coach. Fred's favorite memories include the relationships developed over 16 years at Northwestern and serving as the presenter for Lynn Scott's induction into the NAIA Hall of Fame in 2018. Fred currently serves as the Dean of Students and Assistant Athletic Director for El Reno Public Schools. He and his wife, Melissa Fregmore, have 2 children, Amy Slaughter-Smith and Kosher Fregmore. On behalf of the Rangers Sports Hall of Fame, Northwestern Oklahoma State University, and the Northwestern Foundation, I am honored to welcome to the podium my friend and now Hall of Famer, Fred Slaughter.
Wow. I'm used to being back there with one of my great mentors, Bill Martin, and not being up here front. Anyone that's been around me knows that. I'm a team player, and I love being part of creating success with the group that I'm involved with. I just want to first of all to thank the Hall of Fame Committee and the Lamar-White Foundation and the athletic department for this prestigious honor. I spent 16 years of my life here at Northwestern. And I spent over 20 years here in the great town of Alva. It helped me raise a wonderful daughter. There's a lot of people sitting out in this audience that contribute to that. So, I'm gonna try to do this because this is not the spotlight that I can look forward to. I'm the person that helped people get to this spotlight. So, first of all, I want to thank my family that's here, Melissa, Craigmore. She's been with me. She keeps me out of trouble. She's been with me for 14, 15 years. I lose count because it's such a great relationship, and she's always been there for me. I want to thank my daughter, Amy. She's been my rock. She's been behind me. My son-in-law, Matt Smith, and my wonderful grandchildren are here today to help us celebrate this. I have two of my brothers here, James and Glenn, but more importantly, I have my foundation here, Miss Dorothy Jean Slaughter. And no, she did not bring any pecan pies. Okay? She is the person who instilled the value of loyalty, commitment, and more importantly, she's my biggest support. Her goal in life was to give her children a better life than she had. Well, I tell her every day that she's done that and more. And as far as everything else, I just got a few things to say about this wonderful institution that was so much a big part of my life. There was a couple things on there that I didn't know. I didn't know I was second on time, but the guy that's first is one of the reasons that I'm here, Steve Cooks. Steve Cooks came from my hometown. He was a classmate of my brother, and he came home every spring break. Talked about this place called Northwestern in Alva. Well, the first year he came, I was like, okay. Second year he came, I was like, I don't know if I want to go to that place. He's kind of starting to sound a little different. I was young and I didn't understand that he had become Northwestern, which helped him become a man. Then my senior year, some guy showed up and said, hey, I want to talk to you. And it was Dr. Steve Lowe. I could go all day long talking about this man. I hear what he's done for me. But he showed up. He said, hey, won't you come and visit? Yeah, I'm going to tell the story, Doc. Well, I had started track season, and we could only find one weekend, and I got to fly, so that made it real fun. First time for me to fly the plane. I flew to Oklahoma City, got off the plane, and said, Fred Slaughter, please report to the White Courtesy phone. I'm like, who won't report it? I get there, there's a phone call from, I think it was Coach Breyer that called and said, hey, Dr. Loman had a little car problem on the way to come and get you. He'll be there shortly. Well, what I didn't know was Dr. Loman drove old Brownie, the Ford F-150 farm truck, me up, and I think most of you that are in this audience has been a recruit that came from a distance from Oklahoma City to Alva. I got in the vehicle and we drove about 50 minutes, and I was like, "Are we there yet?" He said, "Almost." I took a nap. I thought I was asleep about an hour. It turned out I was asleep for about an hour, a little bit over an hour. I said, "Are we there yet?" "Nope, we're almost there." So when I got here, spring practice was going on, it was 96 degrees. Well, I went out and saw the team, went and met my host and what I did, and I got back to the dorm that night. And I was like, "Man, this place really got a great AC unit." I turned off the AC unit. I was like, "It's still getting cold." I look out the window, there's 2 inches of snow on it. That really made me think, is this the place that I want to be? We went from 96 to 2 inches of snow on the Well, on my trip back to Oklahoma City, we got up and goes along and said, "Hey, we're going to leave a little early. There's a little ice." Well, the road from Oklahoma City to Alva was pretty much iced over, and this is pre-9/11. And so we drive most of the way, 50 miles an hour, if not less. We get about 20 minutes from the airport, and he looks over and said, "Fred, I promise you, if you miss your plane, I'll put you on the next one." Get to the airport in 15 minutes, I get on the plane when we fly and leave, but you know, that's the story of Northwestern is no matter what happens, we find a way. We find a way. And as I said earlier, now that I've kind of come down, and I didn't come to Northwestern to be up here for Hall of Fame. Like Mr. McDaniel, I was the first in my family to have an opportunity to get a degree. Everybody, all my brothers and sisters had a chance to do it. I was the first one. I wanted to be the one to get it and finish it. This man made a promise to my mom that he would take care of me. And he did that. And he's still doing it. There's a lot of people in this audience that helped me in my journey. Dr. Carmichael. I remember the day you came to me and said, "Hey, Fred, we got a little shortage of instructors, and you're going to be an adjunct instructor this year." I looked at you, so "I'm going to do what?" She said, "You're going to adjunct instructor." I said, "Yes, ma'am." She said, "Don't worry, I'll get you through it." And I will say right now, that's one of the best things that ever happened to me, because the foundation that you laid for me to be an instructor in the classroom, I still use that. Thank you. I've got some people here from my new hometown that means a lot to me, because it took a lot for me to leave out. But I went to another town because one of the reasons I went, there was a ranger that was part of the administration, Mr. McDaniel, who's the superintendent, who's currently the superintendent at El Reno Public Schools, who was my college teammate my freshman year, was one of the reasons that it made it easier for me to leave Northwestern to go somewhere that I knew that there was a ranger. But when I got to the town of El Reno, I got to know another group, and to my surprise, they showed up here, and I want to thank them for being here for me today. The Haydens, the Almos, the Edens, thank you. It means a lot to have, and the Cobbles, thanks a lot, it means a lot to have you here. But to finish, I could talk about a lot of people in this room. And I could be here like Cody Hoover. But I'm not going to string this out. And love you, Cody. I've got some teammates in this room, and one of the things that Matt said was, one of the greatest honors I had was being a presenter for another Ranger great, Lynn Scott. I mean, that young man has taught me more from the day I met him than he would have ever done. He is more than one of my former players. He is deeply embedded into my heart as my brother. Thank you, man. And Al, my last 10 years here in Alabama, Al Hunt and I we basically lived together. We were together. If we weren't at work, we were together. Thank you, Al, for being here today for me. And with that said, I get to say it in front of everybody. I always thought about what it would be like to say that here. Ride, Rangers, ride.
Ladies and gentlemen, a coach, a legend, a leader, and now a Northwestern Sports Hall of Famer, Frascht. To wrap up, I was thrilled to hear Fred refer to Lynn Scott as a young man. Me and Lynn are about the same age, and I will take the compliment. So thank you for that. Earlier today, I referred to myself as a broadcaster. My wife, Casey, tells me that's a bit of a stretch. I am a fan that gets to hold the PA microphone. And I'm going to go do that now and make some noise for the Lady Rangers. I hope all of you will join us over there to support our basketball teams today and to be around for the girls' halftime, the induction of our current Hall of Famers, and the boys' halftime, the induction of our newest members into the Hall of Fame. Audience members, we do ask that you place your name tags on the tables so that our foundation office can collect those. And at this time, if our current Hall of Fame inductees would please return to the front so we can take some photos of you before we all head over to the gym. Thank you for being here today. It is truly an honor to ride Rangers Drive.
Welcome to Hall of Fame Saturday here at Northwestern Oklahoma State University. At this time, we want to take a moment and recognize the Northwestern Sports Hall of Fame members back home today to celebrate the induction of 4 new Hall of Famers to such an illustrious group. To do so today, I am honored to welcome to the floor a man who is a legend, a leader, a scholar, and a Ranger Hall of Famer himself. He was a standout on the baseball diamond, perhaps being the first Northwestern baseball player ever to record time in games at each of the 9 positions on the baseball field. Eventually, he moved into the coaching ranks where he was the head man for Ranger baseball from 1981 to 1988, racking up 160 wins in his tenure as head coach before moving on into the administrative ranks here at Northwestern. He was instrumental in bringing to life the Northwestern Sports Hall of Fame and was inducted into that body in the class of 1995. Ladies and gentlemen, to MC our Hall of Fame ceremonies, please join me in welcoming to the floor Ranger Hall of Famer Dr. Randy Smith.
Thank you, Matt. Always great to be back and an honor to have an opportunity to talk to you tonight about these great Rangers who left the foundation for our athletic program now. If you'll remember, a couple of years ago, we started this tradition of an empty chair. And that empty chair is to make us remember all of the great Hall of Famers that are no longer with us. And many of them you know well. Parkhurst, Johnson, Heike, all of those. More recently, Stout, Brown Bear. Keep them in mind as we go through tonight because they were equally important to the foundation we had. Okay, let's get going. I start with the same one every year. She came to us from right down the road in Cherokee, Oklahoma. Went to Northern Oklahoma College for 2 years where she led them to a national championship. Came here, arguably our best post player ever. 986 points in just 2 years. What she's proudest of, I'm sure, is that she is the daughter of the great Hall of Famer Lloyd Stout. Say hello to Hall of Famer Paula Stout. Our next Hall of Famer is a recent inductee. Can you even imagine trying to start a soccer program in Northwest Oklahoma when there is no soccer? And that's exactly what he did. He coached us for 11 years. His 2014 won the Sooner Conference Championship, and that year he was elected as Conference Coach of the Year. Say hello to Hall of Famer Steve Barrow. This one I've always felt like flew under the radar. One of our greatest basketball players of all time, but he played long enough ago that many of you don't remember. He came to us from Fairview, Oklahoma, scored 1,300 points, averaged 17 points a game, and that's back when nobody scored very much. Junior and senior year, he's all conference. He is a great Hall of Famer, Jim Schrader. Different things separate different Hall of Famers, and the things I'll always remember about this one was his organizational skills and his attention to detail. He came to us as an assistant coach, became our defensive coordinator, later became our head coach in football. He's one of the best motivators I have ever seen. If you get a chance to talk to him, do it. His 1986 team won the conference championship, and for that, he was the conference coach of the year. Say hello to Dr. Steve Loman. This one showed up late, so I didn't have any notes on him, but I'm going to try to do it from memory. We only had him for 1 year, but my goodness, what a year it was. He averaged 18 points a game, set the school record for free throws in a game and three-pointers in a game and three-pointers in a season. He came to us from Garland, Texas. I will never forget the night Northeastern came to here for the conference championship. We are 3 points down with 2 seconds left. He hits a shot from right there at the corner in a double team, gets fouled, goes to the free throw line, makes the free throw, we win by 1. He's the greatest clutch three-point shooter I ever saw in my life. Conference Player of the Year, took us to the national tournament. He is Hall of Famer, the great Slade Young. Right there. Right there. I hope you got to see our next Hall of Famer play, because it was incredible. He's an old school linebacker. When he walked off the field on the north end after every game, his jersey was ripped to shreds. There was blood all over it, and there were running backs laying all over the field. An incredible linebacker. Another example, though, as good as he was as an all-conference linebacker, he was an even better football coach. He went on to become our defensive coordinator. His 1996 and 1998 teams were rated #1 in the nation, and for that, he was the NAIA Defensive Coordinator of the Year. Say hello to Dr. Chandler Mead. This one was the Dean of Women's Basketball in Oklahoma for over 20 years. He came to us from Arnett, Oklahoma. His 1981 team beat Ouachita State Oral Roberts University, Oklahoma State, and I'll never forget the night that Paula hits that shot right there with 1 second left to beat Wichita State. It was a great year. He went on to coach for 20 years, 350 wins. 2 times he was Conference Coach of the Year. In 2000, he was inducted into the Oklahoma Coaches Hall of Fame. And in 2023, we put his name on the court. He is my good friend, Milburn Barton. Another one that has kind of flown under the radar. He's one of our greatest receivers of all time. He came here from Moore, Oklahoma. 136 receptions for 1,900 yards. 3 times he was first team all-conference, and he holds a school record that cannot be broken, a 99-yard touchdown reception. He is Hall of Famer Jason Bryant. I recruited this one from Farmington, New Mexico. He was the best pitcher I ever had. I don't know what else to say. He's the best pitcher I ever had. In 1985, he led us to 33 wins. He himself had 10 wins that year. He was first team all-conference as a pitcher. And let me tell you how hard that is. It was 35 years before we had another first team all-conference pitcher. That is hard to do. Another example, as good a player as he was an even better coach. He started the softball program here at Northwestern. 338 wins in 13 seasons. He is a great Hall of Famer, Cody Hooper. This one probably needs no introduction. He led us to the national championship in 1999. He's the best dual threat quarterback that I ever saw. He threw for 1,900 yards, rushed for 2,300 yards, won the national championship under his guidance, and for that, he was awarded the national championship player of the game. He is a great Hall of Famer, Al Hunter. Another Alcoa putt. Came here and was a 4-year starter on Milburn's team from 1981 to 1985. She was only the second Lady Ranger to score 1,000 points. That year, she was MVP of the Cameron Classic. A side note that I think is kind of cool. She has 2 brothers. Both graduated from Northwestern, both very successful businessmen. Her mother was homecoming queen, and her dad was captain of the football team. She is a Ranger through and through. Say hello to Kayla Landra Haskins. Another dual sport athlete, baseball and basketball. Came here from Calumet, Oklahoma. An Iron Man. Played almost every minute of almost every game. He hardly ever came out. He was one of the crowd favorites and one of the greatest guys you'll ever know. He's currently the chairman of our physical education department, but also in our 1,000-point club, scored over 1,000 points, and is second in career three-pointers with 217. Say hello to Shane Hampson. This Ranger came to us from Percefull, Oklahoma, and was one of the best offensive linemen we had during the 1980s. Great center, great long snapper, all-conference his senior year. Went on to coach under Lee Brower. He and Loman had some great teams when he was the offensive Again, as good a player as he was an even better coach. He went on to Alva High School where he won an incredible 60 games. Say hello to Hall of Famer Steve Gaines. This one and I have known each other for 50 years. We played the outfield together in 1975. He was a great three-sport athlete: football, track, baseball. Went on for a short time with the Denver Broncos. After he left here, when his playing days were over, he decided to coach, and he was a great one. Started out at Tulsa, then to Arizona State, then made the transition to the NFL, where he coached with the Arizona Cardinals, the Houston Oilers, the Oakland Raiders, the Philadelphia Eagles. I won't even remember all of them, but he is a great Hall of Famer and our head football coach, Ronnie Jones. Our next Hall of Famer came to us from Clinton, Oklahoma, and made an immediate impact. We've had a lot of great tight ends at Northwestern. He probably was the best one of all. He caught the first touchdown in our national championship game. After leaving here, he went on to the NFL, where he played with Jacksonville, Baltimore, and Oakland. And I will tell you, and I told him this, it was pretty cool the night that I was sitting on the couch and I watched a Ranger catch a touchdown pass in the NFL. He's the great Brandon Christensen. Any Dallas Cowboys fans here besides me? He came to us from Percefull, Oklahoma, where he was an outstanding defensive back, and I will tell you, he's the best punt returner I ever saw in my life on any level. All conference, 3 years in a row, first team All-American, and even more incredible, he was the NAIA Player of the Decade in the 90s. He left here, went on to play 5 seasons as a defensive back with the Dallas Cowboys. He is the great Lynn Scott. Next Hall of Famer came here from Ark City, great power-hitting first baseman. He once hit 4 home runs in 4 consecutive trips to the plate. First team All-Conference his senior year, another example. As good a player as he was an even better coach. He went on to coach the Rangers to 452 wins, a school record, 49 of them in a single season, another school record. I doubt that either one of those will ever be broken. He is the great Hall of Famer, Joe Phillips. I saved this one till last. He has not been here in a long time, and I want you to know who he is. He graduated from here in 1962, went on to the University of Oklahoma School of Law, became a very successful attorney in Cushing, Oklahoma. But before that, he was now listen close, 4-year starter in football, 4-year starter in basketball, 4-year starter in track. 3 times he was an all-conference football player. 2 times he was an all-conference basketball player. Won 2 gold medals at the conference track meet. He rushed for 2,495 yards and scored 41 touchdowns as a running back. He may be the greatest Ranger athlete we have ever had. He is the great Stuart Arthur. I am in awe of this group of great rangers. Help me celebrate them coming back, and thank you for allowing me to do this. And as always, Ride Rangers Ride.
Turn your attention to center courts. Today is a special day at Northwestern Oklahoma State University as we induct 4 outstanding athletes into the Northwestern Sports Hall of Fame, the highest honor bestowed on any athlete in Ranger Nation. Welcome to the Northwestern Sports Hall of Fame induction ceremony. Northwestern Oklahoma State University, the Northwestern Sports Hall of Fame, and the Northwestern Foundation, represented this afternoon on the court by Athletics Director Brad Franz, are honored to further the legacy of Ranger athletics by adding 4 standout Rangers to the Northwestern Sports Hall of Fame. At this time, we will recognize these athletes and the accomplishments they earned on the field, the pitch, the floor, the track, and in the arena. Upon acceptance of the coveted horse and rider plaques, they will officially become members of the Northwestern Sports Hall of Fame. Our first inductee went from high school champion to rodeo legend, Shannon Frascht. Shannon has built an extraordinary career in the arena, 3-time national intercollegiate rodeo finalist at Northwestern Oklahoma State. He later competed professionally, qualifying for the prestigious Wrangler National Finals Rodeo in 2016, winning 2 go-rounds. Over 20 PRCA Prairie Circuit Finals qualifications, Shannon secured 8 year-end champion team roper titles and multiple circuit finals average wins. His success spans across the top of rodeo associations, including the Central Plains, Texas Cowboy, and Kansas Professional Rodeo Circuits. Beyond competition, he's judged the American Rope Horse Futurity World Finals and earned multiple Team Roping Horse of the Year honors. Shannon's legacy continues to shape the future of rodeo today. Ladies and gentlemen, Northwestern Sports Hall of Famer, Shannon Frascht. Our second inductee, Selina Lamar-White, made history as the first ever signee of the Ranger women's soccer program, playing a crucial role in shaping its foundation. A standout defender from 2001 to 2004, she played in all 80 career games, tying the program record for most games played. Her leadership and skill earned her back-to-back Sooner Athletic Conference first team honors, the Sooner Athletic Conference Defensive Player of the Year Award in 2004, and the NAIA Honorable Mention All-American recognition in both 03 and 04. After her playing career, she continued to impact the program as an assistant coach from 2005 to 2009. Off the field, Sal earned dual degrees in computer science and business administration from Northwestern. She now resides in Shepherd, Texas with her family and teaches computer applications and career exploration. Ladies and gentlemen, Hall of Famer, Selina Lamar-White. Our third inductee is Dr. Tom McDaniel. Dr. McDaniel McDaniel's leadership began early as a standout student athlete at Northwestern. A 4-year letterman in football and basketball, he served as team captain and starting quarterback, leading the Rangers to a legendary upset victory over the defending national champions in 1957. Excelling off the field, he was a top scholar, earning honor roll recognition every year and was voted best all-around student by his peers. He graduated in 1960 and went on to earn his law degree in 1963. His dedication to sports continued as a coach, Little League commissioner, and member of the Oklahoma Sports Hall of Fame Council. In 2000, he made history as the first Rangers student athlete to become Northwestern's president. Later, he served as president and chancellor of Oklahoma City University, earning numerous honors, including Oklahoma's Most Admired CEO and Leadership Oklahoma's Lifetime Achievement Awards. Ladies and gentlemen, a scholar, statesman, and leader, and now, Northwestern Hall of Famer, Dr. Tom McDaniel. And our final outstanding inductee this year is Fred Slaughter. Fred's impact on Northwestern athletics is undeniable. A two-sport standout, he dominated both football and track and field, leaving his name atop the record books for over 30 years. As a 4-year starting quarterback from 1990 to 1993, Fred was a shutdown defender, earning multiple all-conference honors and NAIA All-American recognition. He still ranks second in school history for career interceptions. On the track, Fred was uncatchable, winning back-to-back 400-meter conference titles in 91 and 92, helping power Northwestern to a team championship. His leadership continued beyond the field, coaching as a member of the 1999 National Championship coaching staff and later served as Northwestern's head football coach. Now, as the Dean of Students and Assistant Athletic Director at El Reno Public Schools, Fred continues to shape the future of young athletes. Ladies and gentlemen, Ranger legend and now Hall of Famer, Fred Slaughter! Congratulations to this outstanding class of Hall of Fame inductees, now representing themselves as a total of 120 Rangers to be inducted